If you ever thought about Brazil before, I am sure that Carnival came to your mind. Carnival is a traditional folk party in our country. However, we did not invent this festival. In today's video, you are going to find out where this traditional party came from and where you should spend your Carnival if you decide to come to Brazil. Carnival is a traditional popular party held in different locations around the world, being the most celebrated and the biggest festivity in Brazil. Despite the strong secularism present in Carnival, the party is traditionally linked to Catholicism, since its celebration precedes Lent. Carnival is not a Brazilian invention, and its origin dates back to the Middle Ages. The word carnival comes from the Latin carnis levale, which means to remove the needs of the body, and represents carnival exactly as the moment of preparation for the carnal pleasures to be removed. This is related to the fasting that should be done during Lent and also to control worldly pleasures. This demonstrates an attempt by the Catholic Church to control the needs of the faithful people. This is because the parties were considered exaggerations, therefore prone to practices seen as sinful. Thus, during the High Middle Ages, the Church established Lent, a period of 40 days that precedes the Holy Week, especially Easter, and is marked by fasting. Carnival in Brazil. Carnival was brought to Brazil by the Portuguese colonists between the 16th and the 17th centuries, initially manifesting itself through entrudo, a prank of Portuguese origin that back in the colony was practiced by the slaves. In this prank, people went out to the streets, dirtying each other, throwing mud, urine, etc. The entrudo was banned in 1841, but continued until the middle 20th century. Over time, Carnival has acquired other forms of expression, such as the masquerade ball. The rise of Carnival contributed to the popularization of the party among the poor. As of the 20th century, the popularization of the party contributed to the rise of samba, a musical style very influenced by the African culture, and the parade of samba schools, an event that ended up being made official with government support. During this period, Carnival assumed its position as the biggest popular party in Brazil. Afoxés, frevos, and maracatus also became part of the Brazilian carnival cultural tradition. Marchinhas, sambas, and other musical genres were incorporated into the largest cultural event in Brazil. Carnival is the biggest popular party in our country and drags millions of people to the streets, which has become a lucrative business in the tourism and entertainment industry, since millions of tourists come to the country at the time of this party. The date is also a very important moment for the economy, since it moves millions of dollars every year. The largest street parties in Brazil takes place in the cities of São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, Recife, and Salvador. Other important parties are held in the suburb of the states of Rio de Janeiro and Minas Gerais. The main highlights of the Brazilian Carnival are the street blocks held in the four capitals mentioned. In the northeast of Brazil, in Salvador, Bahia, they are pulled by the traditional trios elétricos, which pass through some points of the city. The rhythm of the Bahia Carnival is mainly axé, a traditional musical style from Bahia. In Recife, there is the biggest carnival block in the world, called Galo da Madrugada. It is estimated that in 2019, the Galo da Madrugada brought together about 2 million people who party for hours in the capital of Pernambuco. Other marks of the Carnival of Pernambuco are the rhythms, such as the frevo and the traditional parade of dolls from Olinda, which takes place in the city of Olinda. In the southeast of Brazil, the samba schools and carnival in Rio de Janeiro started to become an important commercial activity in the 1960s. Businessmen of legal business activities began to invest in the cultural tradition. The City Hall of Rio de Janeiro started to put bleachers on Rio Branco Avenue and charge admission to see the parade. In São Paulo, there was also the development of the parade of samba schools from that period. Despite the parades of the samba schools in São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, there are also the famous street blocks in these cities, where people usually go in costumes and take their own drinks to enjoy the 4 days of the party.
So tell me, did you know that the carnival here